Could you go get a huge salad? I'd feel more comfortable.
Oh, I almost showed you all a picture of my dinner. It was such a good sandwich. Oh, it's like a big old classic sandwich. I was like, I'll show them. I'll show them a big salad. I'm also real sandwich.
Yep. You wish you were big sandwich. Maybe one day.
I had a big salad for lunch. What was in your big sandwich?
Big sandwich.
Turkey, salami, baby Swiss, shredded lettuce, mustard.
Baby Swiss?
Ooh. Yeah, you gotta get it. You gotta get it when it's a baby, when it's still knows fear. It's like a milder Swiss.
I actually prefer regular Swiss.
Baby Swiss sounds
like... They're having a sale on Baby Swiss.
I'm lost in the chocolate
It has smaller
factory.
holes and it's milder. That's the main...
Yeah, it's the
Are we
veal
live
of
right
Swiss.
now?
Absolutely.
God damn it, Harlan.
It's innocent young
Everyone
cheese.
heard my Swiss baby impression.
Did you all hear Jason's Swiss baby music that popped out? That was incredible.
Pretty good.
Oh, I'm covered in chocolate. Oh, I'm swimming in a lake of milk chocolate.
I'm just a chocolatey neutral baby.
Oh my
We
god.
can ski home from here.
I'm corrupt.
Hi, everybody. This is episode 20 of Arc 5 of Better Than Heroes. If you're new to our stream, welcome.
Hello.
We're going to play D&D. This is my cat. I'm Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the level 13 Kreen fighter.
I'm Andrew Ovredahl, and I play Flute, a.k.a. the Windrider, a human dum-dum. It's a homebrew. It's a homebrew class I'm working on. The dum-dum.
It starts out with a sandwich and a Bic pen. My name is Jordan, and I portray the deeds of the Moonboy, a level 13 little Swiss Moonboy.
Baby Swiss Moonboy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I'm Aaron Urist, and I play K.A.I. Hammerstein, the Artificer. And this is a normal intro. I don't have anything extra to add.
I'm Harlan Kelly. I'm the dungeon master of this game, and I think I RP all sentient cheeses, at least so far. It's my responsibility. I don't think
we come across any sentient cheese. I think I'd have trouble eating it. That's not true. I would love it. I would relish the screams.
That was every failed perception check was a sentient cheese.
There's just like
that we could have been talking to.
I think they'd be into it. I think like sentient food would be like, oh yes, it is my turn. Like
yes, it's my purpose.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing that could throw me off. If it was into it, I'd be like, I don't know.
I'll be part of you soon.
Oh God,
I don't like that.
Eat me. Yeah.
Turn me into energy.
Climbing into your mouth. Get out.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Please
I can't wait to be poop.
Fuel your activities.
To Valhalla. Oh boy.
Well, believe it or not, today we're covered in cat hair. We're playing some 5e Spelljammer Dungeons & Dragons. Our show is live, soundtracked by the wonderful Jason Wardell, and it is brought to you by our patrons and our subscribers. If you are one of those things, you're the best. Thank you so much.
True.
You help us pay our artistes, our Jasons, our Jordans, our every map of stories. Sorry, I'm covered in cat hair now, and it's just so bad.
Incredible.
Okay.
Why do we do this? Why do we choose these furry menaces?
Just because I look at his tummy.
Okay. Yes, okay.
I get it again. Remember
Okay. Thank you to our patrons and our subscribers that make this show more beautiful and cooler every week. If you love the show and want to see it grow, you could please consider joining one of those two things. Becoming a subscriber, becoming a patron. You will directly contribute to making this show better and helping us pay our role players and our artists and everyone who makes Better Than Heroes better than heroes. If you don't want to give us our money, your money,
Don't you give us our money.
We totally
Our money.
don't want to give us
a
our
little
money,
aggressive.
then get out. If you don't want to give us your hard-earned money, we totally understand. We're a bunch of ding-dongs. You can support the show for completely free by following the channel, by subscribing on YouTube, by following us on Twitter and Instagram, and by telling your friends about the show. Just talking about the game and saying that you enjoy it and sharing the YouTube or the podcast. You could go on our podcast and leave us 5 stars. All of those things are extremely helpful and help the show grow. We are going to play some Dungeons and Dragons in just a few minutes, but first, it's time for last week's recap.
Oh God. Okay.
You can do it. Here we go.
Let's go, Aaron.
Previously on Better Than Heroes, as Slow Death, the Green Dragon, and Flute Whimteaser sat in the hedge-carved paths of Garden, waiting for Flute's ride home from being kidnapped, the dragon suggested that they return to her lair to rest. Slow Death allowed the Windrider to ride on her back and whisked him away to watch over him as he slept, the most terrifying nanny. After Flute woke, his Kreen Uber arrived, but he decided to teleport instead and left without tipping. The crew spoke with Goliathan, who felt undervalued, and being in his feelings had taken the dinger on a cruise through one of the universe's most dangerous active war zones to clear his head. Back at the Cove Survivors Camp, Lady Arabella, aka Nyx, arrived with her sister, the crew's old robot-armed friend Talon. Nyx had been summoned at the crew's request to heal the townspeople and said that it was possible to save them all, but it would take months. As the conversation turned tense, she insinuated that the Moon Girl had previously worked with the Undying Queen. Talk turned to strategy at large, and the crew theorized that destroying the Mind Flayer colony could free the Cove's people and potentially convince the Undying Queen to call off her Darkstar and not devour reality. A variety of ideas emerged, from kidnapping a high-ranking Illithid to a backdoor into the colony's Psychropolis through Florial's old workshop to an Independence Day-style solution to hack the hive mind by sabotaging the Elder Brain. The meeting was interrupted by another psychic Mind Flayer PSA, once again asking the crew to come to the Cove to negotiate. Were they listening? Is destroying the colony the key to saving the universe? Will Goliathan lose custody of Dingham Nidris? Did Flute have sex with that dragon? Find out right now on Better Than Heroes.
Stop.
It's now.
Now,
we're
and
back.
we are us, and here we go.
Playing the game. Okay. So we find the party reunited here. You all are all together, and not just reunited, but Talon is here with you all as well. And you all, you've got other allies. Whipper is here. Lady Arabella Nyx is here, also known as Nyx. And you are in this. You're with Oxtrillion as well. This like newfound fiendish friend of yours. I actually, in the sense of Dungeons and Dragons, he is not fiendish, but you understand. He's made of fire, and you all have the remainder, the survivor. Just this handful, about 15 to 20 of these survivors from the Cove of the Bones, after it has been taken over by intellect devourers and assumingly mind flayers as well. So. I would love to know what y'all's... You've all have a long rest here, but what is y'all's next step? Because there was this conversation about heading to the Psychropolis, about taking that on in a way that's going to... that would allow you all to maybe save the cove all at once by, cutting it off at the source and maybe allowing the Psychropolis to be something that allowed you to prove to the Undying Queen that you all mean business and can, negotiate with her effectively. But I'd love to know what y'all's first step is today.
I'm typing all of this down. That's what you hear.
So it's like it's sleepy time?
No, it's more. It's wakey time.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You all are awake.
That's all I care about in D&D. Okay, well, just let me know when it's sleepy time. Thanks.
Bed?
Everybody should have a long rest. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I tell.
But fair enough. Just let me know when it's time to go to bed. That's a good way to start the day. See ya. Let me know when it's time for bed.
Thought I'd play the character a little more real.
How long has it been since we talked to Goliathan?
Ooh, not very long. Yeah.
It was like the day before.
Yeah, it was like the evening before. Yep.
Okay, but it was last night.
And I came back in the soup pot, cleaned myself up. Yeah, we were strategizing if we should... We got pinged by the Mind Flayers to meet them on the dock, remember?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Are we going to do that? Or
I mean, that sounds like a terrible idea, right?
what's to be gained?
Only if we were going to catch one and make it our... Somehow use it as an acid to get inside.
Right. Maybe we should call them back and be like, who's going to be there? Got to figure out whether we
Who's
want
coming
to bother.
to the party again?
Anybody cool? Is Lord Asodo going to be there?
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
I think we killed him.
Yeah.
Right, somebody
beheaded him.
killed him.
Someone killed him.
Like pretty
Who can
unceremoniously, actually. I'm still kind of mad
remember?
about
We've all done
I think ultimately the media is to blame.
right. I think the parents.
it. Too many PSAs. Bard College.
Right.
Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like what you see here is like Moon Girl and Australian are both kind of like fussing over this like large stew pot together as they're kind of like handing out a gruel of sort to all the folks here in this morning, and Talon and Nyx are kind of like in a corner debating between the two of themselves, and Whipper is talking to a few folks, especially her oldest daughter that is here with you all as well, who seems very hungry for revenge whenever you've talked to her.
And what's the frog boy doing?
Oh, he is happily tied up, and there's a young human girl who is playing chess against him. He seems to, because you planted in front of the chessboard last time, he's just staying right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, what do we need to do before we go to the Psychropolis, if that's what we're going to do?
I mean, are we gonna meet them at the docks? Or
Right, I guess
that a
that's
bad
the
idea?
immediate question. I don't know.
Could
I mean,
meet them
we're
at the docks
probably...
and-
definitely sounds like a bad idea, but I mean, we should probably mull it over.
We could... I'm going to gather us all around that non-detection amulet
Sure.
and be like, we could tell the Mind Flayers that we'll negotiate with them and then not do
that's
it.
what I was
We could
thinking.
lie.
Across them.
Yeah.
Anything that'll make them expect us less is good.
Hyper-intelligent
Sure.
species of brain-devouring aberrations would never see a double cross coming, ever.
Right. I'm pretty good at it. I lie all the time.
Do you?
I
Really?
think that's
No.
true.
What? Oh! Well done. Very well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe we could set up some kind of distraction on Glyph for the Mind Flayers to
On a glyph.
Go and investigate.
I know there's a lot of them.
You know, we do have a friend who's a big green dragon. Perhaps she'd be down for another of a little wag the dog action.
She did say she'd help us out, but we have to make a new deal with her.
You hear from Flute's pocket, oh God, they're gonna get in contact. And you see crawling out is this little krat named Jared, which I
Kill it!
I bring up so that we can show you the amazing art that Jordan did as well. So if you want to peek at the Roll20 or the stream, Jordan made this amazing, truly amazing art for the krat.
Yeah, look at him, his little rat nose.
It's so good.
God. I love it.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to zoom in on it for the chat here because I want
cigarette
just like the
is
details
about the size of his knife.
are so good.
He holds his cigarette like a knife and his knife like a cigarette.
Yeah. I figure he smokes
beautiful.
regular sized cigarettes, but has a krat sized knife.
That tracks.
What kind of cigarettes do you think he smokes?
Parliament.
You don't have to go. Yeah, Parliament full flavors.
Yeah.
He says, it's my
Shout
moral
outs
duty
to
to
our
remind
sponsor.
you that if you want to get in contact with Slow Death, you could just crush me and she'll know I'm dead. Also, she cursed me with speech before you left, too, so that's why I can do this. Usually you have to,
Jesus.
Right.
yeah.
Tragic.
Curse you.
Ugh. Seems like it'd be a gift.
Just to all of us with your speech.
Well, do we want Slow Death to meet us here at the Cove of the Bones? Might bring a little too much attention up here to the secret hiding
Probably
cave.
not here. I mean, maybe she would just get in contact, not actually come to wherever we are.
I think she would come to where we are based on her behavior.
Well, what's his name? Julian?
Jared.
David? Jared? Hello.
I thought it was Jeff.
Jeff? Jared. It doesn't matter. What
Hey,
that's
will
not
she
nice.
Sorry. Will your mistress come directly to us if we crush you, or would she just know that you were dead and then get in touch?
Yeah, she's got lots of ways of getting in touch, lots of ways of observing, lots of ways of
Sure.
talking to people. So she'd probably, not just barrel in here, but ask if she should come barreling in there.
Right. Right.
You happen to know her perspective on the Mind
Weaknesses?
Flayer
Secrets?
colony that moved in next door?
Not a fan, he says. I know for sure she's not a fan. She's also not a fan of the the Beholder takeover and the Skull of the Hall of the Skull Goblin King. Not
There
a
has been
fan.
a bit of a power vacuum.
No, his power
Right.
face. His a power face.
Ah, so you're right.
A
Well,
vacuum can be what we call his mouth,
Yeah.
as he eats and he's fat.
You see,
do we what?
look, go for it.
dragon's a perfectly good distraction.
It would
We
be a
need
good
one.
one.
It is.
She could lead a. Well, it would be good because she could probably get away, and anyone else that we send to do like a attack distraction would probably get their brain devoured.
Yeah.
Oh, an attack distraction.
Ooh, can a dragon get mind flared? That sounds dangerous.
Almost.
why
We
not-
do
Click,
just.
you want to roll a history check?
Sure, let's
Go for
see.
I mean, dragons have brains, right?
Ooh, not terrible. A history check. Dirty 20.
Ooh,
She's been reading into mind flayers because they scared the crap out of her last
Makes
time.
total sense. You have never heard of one or seen one in recorded history, but there has been a lot of writing about the fact that it's potentially possible to mind flay a dragon because of that same philosophy that if something's got a brain, you can flay it. So yeah,
Right. If they've got. Never mind.
Well, that sounds
The parents
deeply
doesn't
dangerous.
exist here.
I can't think of a scarier thing.
so Arabella,
Really bad.
If it's got cheeks, we can clap them.
Nick said and Talon come over, and Nyx is frowning and Talon is grinning, and they're like, so next steps. Nyx is like, we can just, in fact, I think if we want to get moving, if the Psychropolis is the plan and we want to get moving, I say we go back to wherever you all have the most resources and kind of put those together and recoup. And Nyx is like, unfortunately, I agree with that. Right now, I assume you all would want to go back to Jadorian, she says. And she's like, right now, it is currently...
We could. Also, Powerface knows that we're in this cave, and he could send another group of his goons.
We should not dawdle here.
You're right, we should leave.
I also, Nyx says, I would recommend us taking these folks with us.
We should bring the survivors, for sure.
Not sure they will be happy about that, from what I can tell.
I can't think of a...
Well, they'll do more good to the effort to free their friends from Jadorian than they will from here.
Yes. She said the colony has been expanding, so their territory, they've been winning, and their pushes toward other planets, so we should move soon. This is the plan.
Yeah, I agree.
If we could capture... No, yeah, we should just go.
Yes. Whipper hears you want to go. Where are we going?
Regroup.
Into town?
Make sure we have the resources to save the people.
All right, well, we'll hold down the fort here, and you all go recoup and bring back any forces you need to take back the cove.
Well, we were thinking you could come with us so you'd be safe.
I think you're going to have to come with us.
Both you all roll persuasion checks. Actually, all three of you.
Can I just help?
Can I add that, that a
Andrew?
beholder power lord knows where they're hiding now?
Sure, absolutely. Did you just not remember Powerface's name?
No, I just was describing him as such.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you helping me? Does that give me advantage on the roll?
I would like to take the help action, because I am not persuasive.
I am not either. I have rolled a 10.
So if he's helping me, do I have advantage or not?
Yes.
There we go, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, all right. Cool. Whipper's like, okay, I will trust you all once again.
You should bring everybody here who has a brain as well.
And she's like, okay. And you see, she turns and she goes, everyone, we're going with them. She says, it's not, I know that we are all leaving friends and family behind, and we all wish that we were powerful like them and could just solve this problem immediately, but we are not. So we must follow the powerful.
We cannot solve this problem immediately, Whipper.
Right, we also are not that powerful.
They're not that powerful, but we're gonna follow them.
No, don't tell them that part. Look,
you don't have to undersell it that much.
We think
you don't have to undersell it this much, she says, announces.
Okay, be quiet. I'm gonna step forward and kind of push Whipper aside and be like, we think we have a plan that can fix this place and maybe everything. But if you have a brain, yes.
Not safe here.
We're going to get a wave runner, and it's going to fix everything.
Yeah. Right.
No. No. I'm gonna say, if you have a brain, it's imperative that we get you out of here. Show of hands. Who has a brain? And he puts his hand up.
I do not raise my hand.
Roll a persuasion check here.
Okay.
I know you just helped him, but I want you to do it.
Okay. Hang on, I have to find I gotta find the bloody. There it is.
While that's happening, I'll ask around who else knows the teleport
I'll do it with
spell.
guidance.
No one here.
Which one? Laloon does.
Laloon does, yeah.
5.
Cool. You see that Keen, Whipper's oldest daughter, there's only 2 of Whipper's daughters that are here, the youngest and the oldest. And Keen, the oldest, steps up and says, I'm going to stay here. I want to keep an eye on what's going on here, and I'm gonna make sure that, if there's any opportunity to get folks back, that I can pounce on it. I don't want to abandon my friends and my family.
You are not abandoning them. But we are
saving
them to save them.
Klik.
They can't. Go on.
You cannot save the people you love when you are at your worst. We
Klik,
are low. We are unequipped. We are not strong enough.
Roll an intimidation check with an advantage here, because I think that the advantage is specifically because she thinks that you are the most badass of this crew.
All right.
She's correct.
Oh boy. 14, even with advantage.
Oh boy. She looks at you and she says, "Coward."
Damn.
No, it is not a coward to be smart. It is not cowardly to be smart. You think you're so brave, so smart, that you can just take on the whole world by yourself. You need friends, you need resources, and you are useless without them. You staying here is suicide, and you are no good to your friends without a brain.
Might as well take that brain and pop it into a mind flayer's mouth, and then we'll see how Smave and Bart you are.
Thank you, Moonboy.
I just very gently put a hand over Moonboy's mouth.
But Powerface, he sent 8 goons last time. He'll probably send more, and you'll be here all by yourself.
I can take him.
You wouldn't even be fighting your enemies.
Yeah, you'd be feeding your enemies.
Not even. You would just die fighting someone else. Because
No, she's very smart. Wants to be the hero. Sacrifice all of her friends so she feels good today.
Yeah.
Keen spits and is like, "You don't know what sacrifice is." And Whipper steps up and she's yelling at her for you. She's like, "How dare you? How dare you?" She's like, "You don't know. And she just kind of goes into the full ass
Penguin fight. They do that bell jousting. That
oh my god.
beak to beak. Yeah, absolutely. And you can see that Keen kind of grumbles and cowers, but doesn't look like she just kind of gives up against her mom, as her mom is just screaming into her mouth. And but the rest of the folks seem to be nodding and yeah, okay, yep, yeah.
All right, well, I just need to
Right.
sleep for 4 hours, and I can teleport 8 people along with me out of here.
Just for safekeeping, everybody put your brains in the middle. Put your brains into this sack.
How many people can teleport take?
You can teleport 8 along with you. So if only Loon and I can teleport, we can take a total of 18 people.
Cool. Right.
Is that enough?
16, right?
8 people with you.
It's 4 of you.
9 times 2.
Yeah, 9 and 9, yeah.
And I wish that Nyx or Talon.
Yes, I was hoping that Nyx would have something, but
You know what? They got here. I'll retrofit a way to have them know a way to teleport. So that's 3. So they can take 3, which is there's
27.
27. Okay, cool. That'll do it with you all. So cool. But you need 4 hours for that, right?
Yeah, I gotta take a long rest.
Oh, a long
I should
rest.
go first.
Isn't that 4? Isn't it a minimum of 4
Can
hours
you
of
just
sleep?
take a long rest?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
my rule is you have to spend at least 8 hours apart from when you took the last long rest, so you can't just
Oh.
spam long rests.
Well, it's time for me to play some chess.
Truly, I mean, we can you all can stall here a little bit in the cove. There's lots to talk about with these folks, so I will say. So you all know that you have to spend the day here. So anything that you want to do, anything you want to talk to Australian about, anything you want to talk to Moon Girl about, anything you want to talk to each other about, now is absolutely a good time to do it. Slacks, the Toad Widower. It's up to you. Nyx and Talon have a lot of things they can like fill you in on, talk to you all about, but I'll kind of like let you all scene call a little bit here if there's anything.
Do you guys think
could go
that
down
brains are good? Like taste good?
Eat?
Right.
No, gross.
Australia's like, I've had some. They're good. Yeah.
What kind?
You've had some?
Says they're good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had werewolf brain. It was awesome.
Werewolf brain.
Yeah.
What?
Is that more like a wolf
Sounds
brain
dope.
or like a man brain?
Well, I haven't had a
Where do you
human
source
brain, but I
that?
had a
Was
wolf
it-
brain, and I would say it tastes nothing like a wolf brain. So my guess is more like a human brain.
Wow.
Now the werewolf
Like
brain,
man
is
brain.
that how is it sourced? Is that farm raised? Is it wild caught?
No, I killed a werewolf with my bare hands and then smashed its skull and ate its brain out of it. Yeah.
So wild caught then.
Why did you do
that's
that?
a fun. Well, he's like in the Feywild, you just get bored often. There's just like a lot of
That's right.
everything, and you live for
Just
Right.
hundreds and hundreds of
surprised you
years.
didn't
And, yeah.
Set him on fire, frankly.
I mean, I did.
You just wanted to switch it up.
Yeah. No. I mean, killing someone with my bare hands does still include fire. It's wonderful. You just get to like.
So it was
feel
cooked.
It burn.
The brain
Yeah.
was cooked.
It was. Yes, it was cooked. Yep.
Well, now I'm thinking that, if brains are so dag blasted delicious, maybe we just eat their brains, right?
Ooh, yeah, eating mind flayer brains. Ooh, I wouldn't want to
Right.
eat any too slippy for me.
Do they even have one?
Slippy?
Slippy. Yeah.
That's a good question. Do they have one?
I
I don't know. Can a flayer flay a flare?
Oh yeah. It's
Flays the
on
flare.
flare.
Can you mind flay a flare? They're already part of the flay mind.
in fact,
Double flayed mind flayer flavor.
Wait, the flay wild. Is that something?
that's a
It's
whole
nothing,
campaign
but
right there.
it's good.
There it is, baby.
Nyx pipes up, Talon pipes up, and she's like, "Yeah, in fact, do you know what happens when one mind flayer tadpole eats another mind flayer tadpole?
No, it sounds gross.
It
They both die?
no, it takes over the body, and it in the same way that there is the seramorphosis process, the same way that a mind flayer takes over the brain of a human and then turns its body into that body. A mind flayer tadpole, when left alone, if unattended for a long time and not fed, for example, if there was like a bunch of mind flayer tadpoles together and they were like left alone in a space for a while, one of those tadpoles would become the dominant tadpole by eating the others and would become what is called a neolithid, which is
Didn't we...
It's called a what?
neolithid.
Neolithid. Didn't we put a bunch of mind flare tadpoles and kind of leave them to cure one time?
No, they got it when we crashed the Nautiloid at Jadorian. They got out.
destroyed. They got out. Great.
We never found them.
I'm sure it's fine.
Horrifying, says Talon. And Nyx is like deeply responsible.
I mean, we were in the process of
Defending
trying to save
their
Jadorian.
community, and we looked for them.
Yeah, says Talon. Nyx, you know them. They were doing their best.
There's a lot of those to keep track of.
That's
Nyx
exactly what we were doing.
Nyx kind of sighs
Best.
and looks annoyed. And you all look over at her and you see the new art that we have for Nyx. So another art reveal in one stream. Oh, we have Nyx art.
Hey, double art reveal.
Double art reveal.
Hit me.
Boom.
Maybe one
Ding,
more
ding,
time.
ding.
Yeah.
Is it coming up in
my God.
Roll20?
Sure is.
Undercut.
Look at that.
Give me a second.
yeah, Jordan.
Badass.
I just told Jordan, I was like, she has elven descent, elven ancestry, and Nyx does not. And I was like, yeah, just make her look like an elven Nyx. Elven Talon, and but
Evan Nyx?
grumpy and
2 arms.
It's just like Evan Nyx.
So anyway, it's incredible.
Oh, yeah,
I just
that's
wanted to
great.
throw it up. Yeah, it's very, very good.
Cool sword.
She
Cool
rules.
sword. I like that the armor isn't like overwhelming, but still looks cool as shit. Like it's just very good. So
Thank you.
Well done.
You continue to ascend.
Well
done.
Yep. So, and she kind of like, as you all have this downtime, and Moon Girl seems to be keeping a very close eye on Australian. You all, Nyx is like, do you all know the state of things? Have you all been keeping tabs on the progression of
roughly
what's going on in the world?
You've sort of been looking big picture from a current events standpoint.
Sure.
No, what's the latest? We were in the astral plane for...
Yes.
Well, time is weird there, so we don't know how long, but...
You all, and Talon pipes up. She's like, you all caught up with Gregory, right? I sent him your way. Took me a lot to get him to you, so...
We did? We
well,
did.
Where'd he end up?
He is in... I believe he's in hell, fighting demons for eternity as a form of penance.
Oh,
right?
Good for him,
Yeah.
Talon says. That's exactly what he needs. Good job.
It was his idea, and he really wanted to, and yeah, it felt good.
That's great. Well, thank you for taking
It's
care of
hell,
it.
right,
Yeah.
guys? That he
Yeah,
went to?
he was like going through a bunch of different doors. He seems like he's doing all right. He's got a dog now.
Were there like
That's
demons?
right.
Were there like demons coming out of the doors?
Yeah.
I don't totally remember what the deal was.
Either coming out or going into.
Going
I can't
in.
remember.
He's stopping them.
Right,
He's doing
but
good.
he's there,
Busy.
and he has a dog.
Yeah.
His name is Keith.
Barf.
I want
Beef?
to say
Beef.
Barf.
Beef.
That's right.
So it's kind of both Keith.
I never
and
forget a
Barf.
dog.
Keith and Barf.
Barf,
And
beef.
so he and Beef Barf, they stand against the eternal tide. And
Wow.
they're doing well.
What a happy ending for him. Talon says, I really like him.
Yeah.
Good guy.
And
We could
Nyx
use
is
his
like
help.
maybe the one thing we agree on. So I also like him. And Nyx like asks Talon to pull up a map, and she has this like orb that she can expand out. This magical item that allows like a map to be projected. And you all can see there are marked here. If you look in the Roll20, you can see it as well. I might be able to pull it up for the stream in a second, but you can see there are kind of like delineated lines about who is controlling what territory. And because we're talking about like spherical areas and this isn't like a linear like 2D plane here, it is a little bit more complicated than this. And so this is more like representative than anything else. But what you can see here is that the Mind Flayers have been making headway. They've surrounded K.A.I. They've fully in fact, I'll do it kind of like in Nyx's from Nyx's perspective. She's talking about like she's like pointing to things on the map and like pointing out like what is where. And she's like, yes, so K.A.I. surrounded. They did not have a lot of airspace around them that they could defend. Not a lot of positions there. The Rock of Brawl is surrounded, but they have been managed to defend themselves. There are invasions beginning on K.A.I., but nothing immediate. Chandos has totally fallen after Firma Regna left. There was just everyone. There's not much hope for it. Collier would have fallen, but Powerface was able to send a section of troops to support one of the main factions defending Collier. So there are some beholder ships over there that have armed up with one of the main factions, and then Garden is in trouble. All of the moons have fallen to the colony, and really Powerface's incursion deep inside has left him surrounded. He's kind of cut off from his reinforcements from Hakatha. So, I mean, they're going to get in there eventually, as I'm sure they have seen moving around, that they're just slowly surrounding the main entrance to Chidori, the main way into the center of Garden by getting closer and closer to the Hall of the Skull Goblin King and Slow Death's lair. So it's a bit dire.
And the Psychropolis is on Chandos, is that right?
Oh, it is on Glith, the Mind Flayer planet.
Glith.
Yeah.
Might be. And I thought K.A.I was all water.
It is.
What will the Mind Flayers even do there?
They're mostly just have conquered the airspace around it. They haven't put too much effort into taking over places, so it is more allowing them to move on. Toril is completely locked down, and all of the powerful forces there are just doing their best to keep them out. But it has been, again, now that the Meridian Tract is gone and they've kind of given the Tears of Saloon, there isn't much defending the airspace around it, mostly only defending the planet, as Nick says.
So the colony is actively spreading outward on all fronts.
Yes.
So they probably won't be expecting an attack on their Psychropolis.
I mean, I'm sure that they are expecting... I'm sure they're keeping their most vulnerable parts still covered, but the fortress that Glith usually is, it probably will be less patrolled, but their vulnerable parts will still be well guarded, yes.
But not by an army.
Not by an army, but still by... They are not fools. They know to guard their vulnerable forces well.
What if we went to Hakatha? Pulled Powerface out.
Hakatha's on Garden. But yeah. If you pull Power... Yeah.
Powerface is on Garden?
Yes.
Yeah. What if we... You said that Powerface is surrounded. He sort of is obsessed with us. What if we save
Oh my God,
him?
it's so embarrassing. I like that. Now, what if I told you guys that I had...
If we saved,
spell.
if we united the Powerface's army, the army of Jadorian, and all the ships they've been working on, and marched on Glith, that's a huge force.
While we sneak in the back door and somehow strike the killing blow from inside.
And Moon Girl, who's like
if such a
over
thing
this
is
whole
possible.
thing, kind of like looks over. She's like, if I know one thing about Powerface, it's that he's even if you saved him, he probably wouldn't view it as you all saving him. You know, I think it would take a little bit of political massaging on your part to say, you know, maybe you are showing up for him as part of his force. It would take a little coddling, but you know,
Definitely wants to talk to us.
he's not against them. I mean, he's not with the Mind Flayers. That's for sure.
We don't need him to think we're saving him. We just need to...
Maybe we could make him think the whole thing was his idea.
Right.
Flute, you're good at talk.
No, I'm not going to talk
Words.
to Powerface. He just tried to kidnap me.
Come on, we can practice here. Let's do a little role play. I'm Powerface, you're you.
Very good.
I take out my
Hello,
sword with like a
Windrider.
flourish and like pretend to chop off Moonboy's head.
No! Oh, it's just like in the nightmares.
No.
I give you little bangs. I give you a little bang cut.
No, they don't suit me. Nobody can pull this off.
New art request. Sorry, Moonboy with bangs.
So
That's all I'm doing now.
And don't forget, Powerface is also with Janice.
Yeah.
that's going to be an awkward conversation.
Who?
The enemy
Is
of my
the army
enemy.
of Jadorian enough to march on Glith? I mean, I guess we could invite Slowdep. Our friends are crazy. What happened?
Seriously.
Yeah. Maybe we can
I know Powerface wants to talk to us, but I wouldn't be the one to talk to him. We've had, I think, too many differences, but perhaps one of you wants to talk.
Charismatic.
Yes, but I think my charisma is lost on Powerface.
Come on, your charisma's not lost on anyone.
Well, surely if we go in and we're like, oh,
look at him,
glorious Powerface, we came here at your behest to save us from your problem thing. Massage it, like they say, and maybe we could, corner their army and get them to help us. If we're all fighting against the same place, then surely they would see some sort of use to having us around, or us having them around.
There's a whole army of
forces.
Beholders.
Let's join them. Right.
I mean, we might... He came to Garden in the first place because we asked him to, isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So, maybe he'll turn his forces towards Glyph.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's a bad idea, but it's not a bad idea.
It's dangerous, for sure, but I mean, a large-scale allied counterattack against Glyph the Mind Flayers might not see it coming.
Talon's like, I would say, all of this is a good idea, but you would still have to walk into where Powerface is with a large chunk of his Beholder army. And so if that doesn't go well, you're in...
Just call.
You'll be disintegrated.
Let him know we're coming.
Okay.
He wants to
do we
see
know
us.
that what's his name is a slide, or do we still think they're toads?
Oh, no, you absolutely know
he told us he was a slide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He has been very transparent. He's given away secrets to...
He's over there just sidebarring secrets. I'll go ask him, like,
what do you think? Do you think...
Ooh.
Do you know why Powerface wanted to talk to us?
Yeah, he likes you a lot. He likes you a lot.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. Probably, I think...
Do you know, like, what he
wanted? Like us?
You've got the bangs now.
He talks about you all like you are gonna eventually come on his team. He kind of talks to you about like he's already recruited you, and you all just need to get focused and join his team like you are eventually going to.
He's a bit of a trump, this guy. Maybe we can use that whole...
He doesn't play cards. Yeah.
Right. Maybe we can use that whole kind of confidence, that stupid confidence of his, to our advantage. Maybe we can be like, yeah, we're on your team, but the first thing that we need to do as a team is defeat these dastardly Mind Flayers. I think it could work. I think it's a pretty good idea, really. I mean, it's a bad idea, but it's a good idea.
If I know one thing about Powerface, it's that he thinks that his way is the only reality around him. So the more you can go with the flow with that, then
we'd have to make it seem like it was his idea.
Right.
And honestly, maybe it's not too far off from his idea. I bet if we were to ask him what he wants to do, one of the main things would be to get rid of all of these Mind Flayers. Maybe we could tell him about what was the thing we saw where a beholder had its mind flayed? Surely I guess beholders don't really care what happened to other beholders.
Witness? They might.
But we could say that we could be like, the mind flayers said that they wanted to do that to you, and then they said that your ship is stupid and your mom is too.
Could work.
I have an idea.
I mean,
go ahead.
Nope. Let's hear it.
Well, we can expect that he'll interrupt my dreams again. So the next time
it's true,
he interrupts my dreams, I can just put on a bit of show of being scared and tell him that we want to talk and see if we can set up some line of communication.
Yes, the old honeypot.
I'll get my magic back by being awake, so tonight when I go to sleep, it won't matter if he interrupts my dreams. I'll just be making a show of sleeping anyway.
We asked him for a ride.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
What if
To
Powerface? It's like, Daddy, we're coming home. Come get us.
But again, if that conversation doesn't work out, then we're just his prisoner, because he's got a whole army of beholders, and he has the widower's ship.
Then we kill him and take his army. Come on.
All of this
the
just
crew
means
of the
we can
Dinger.
end up in Jadorian first.
I mean, it would be great to recruit Powerface, but if we can't, then we're trying to.
Also, we're neglecting.
Then we're having to fight Powerface while we're
Janice.
trying to get to the. Right, that also.
I
and
don't
if we tell him
think
where we're
she
going,
will easily forgive.
Yeah.
We did
Tried
sort
our
of
best.
send her away.
She ate
She ate that guy, though.
I know
She ate Jared
did.
Logan.
She didn't know any better.
Wait, that wasn't his name.
she did know better,
did.
and she did it anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She knew.
We
She
should
knew what she was doing.
We should
do it
make it to
again.
tonight and get to Jadorian and go from there, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Regroup with Goliathan. See
Maybe we
how
can
he's
just.
doing.
We should check in and see
Maybe
if he even got back.
Oh, good idea. I'll get on the walkie-talkie to Goliathan.
Yep. Hi. Hello.
Hey, Goliathan.
Yep.
What's your location? Have you all made it back to Jadorian?
Yeah, we came back.
Good.
Relic shot a crack, so Slow Death's not going to
Really?
sneak up on us.
Relic
I'll
shot
get on the
something?
walkie-talkie. Captain,
Wow.
that's exactly how she knows where things are. So don't kill any more krats.
Oh, that's true.
Just try not to let them see you at all.
Got it. Okay.
She
well,
feels
we're back in
every one
Jadorian
of their
now,
deaths.
so we are okay.
All right. Well, just for the future reference, it seems to be her instant
Noted.
messenger.
Noted. She knows when
Yeah.
a crack goes down. Got it.
Well, we'll be back there soon.
Yeah.
We're headed back to you, Captain.
All right. Well, see you soon.
Over and out.
I'll have the dinger ready if you need it. All right.
Good.
Cool.
Well, he seems good.
You sound sad.
Yeah, well, we're all sad. What?
Me.
Not Moonboy. I am.
Well, I guess
I
we
don't know.
just...
I mean, can he took the ship, he took the Dinger and all her crew out just
I know.
for
We just
a
said
ride?
sad.
It's not just sad, they could have all been killed.
Yeah,
what?
very easily.
He said goats hatching.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We
So
should
you
be
can
back
see
there for
goat
that.
when we get back.
Will she be Goat?
That's cool.
Or will she be
Yeah.
someone else?
I mean, she
she
might not
remember
look like
her
Goat, but
old
she'll be
life?
Goat.
Does she
Yeah.
have
What does
all
she
of
look
her
like?
memories?
I think.
Did you
I
go
don't know,
through
it's sort
in
of up to the
character
up to the
in
pod.
character creator?
No, it's pretty random. In fact, I think the DM rolls the dice
Oh.
and that
She's a
decides
crat.
what race.
Yeah. I mean, which the translate in game is like Moonboy has just grown, like put her body in a pod and kind of like grown something around it. So
Something.
Wow.
yeah,
Right.
it's really a
It's up to
metamorphosis.
the pod,
that-
man.
I think that like you all get that out of this conversation too. You realize that when Moonboy's talking about it, you're like, oh, you don't really know what happens when that pod opens. Like, but you
No.
do know that Goat comes back in some way or the other.
Yes.
That would be good.
Yes, we'll have more or less Goat back.
Sounds
Better than nothing.
wild.
Yep.
Better than no Goat at all.
Yeah. It'll feel good to take one back from the enemy.
Yes.
So we go back to Jadorian, we rally the troops, we get everyone together, and we tell them we're marching on Glyph.
It's a lot
That's what
to
we're
ask.
doing?
Maybe
It's like a suicide mission for them?
No. I don't know. Maybe there's another way besides everyone attacking
Just
Glyph.
need a distraction, right? If we're gonna go in the back into the back
It's
door.
a lethal distraction. They still have to fight.
Oh,
true.
well, there's your episode title.
Lethal distraction.
Lethal distraction. That fucking rules. Sorry to swear, but
Well,
I just hate to send them back into war.
no, you're right. You're right.
they will end up in
don't know
war,
if-
whether we send them or not.
I know.
Well,
And
maybe
they're brave.
No, maybe if we can, accomplish what we need to in the Psychropolis, they won't have to fight.
I suppose.
Well,
Maybe there's.
Do we know that there's a back
don't
door?
Yeah.
That's through
somebody
Florial's,
told us.
gates.
Yeah, the options you
Either
know right
way.
now is through the abandoned workshop, Florial's abandoned workshop, which you all have been through before.
Right.
And you don't know exactly how that's a back gate because when you went through that portal, it took you to a Moon of Garden. So that's an
Right,
unknown.
we went to a different spot.
But it's been suggested that is an avenue, and Nyx has suggested that. And then you also, it's been suggested too that if you had a high level Mind Flayer or and probably a Nautiloid you would need as well to like disable the barrier. Maybe about the Nautiloid, I don't know. You don't really know like what it takes to get in there because has not been accessed by anyone.
Not
Like
mind
Nyx
flayers.
went there to see it and has seen it, but like that's it.
I'm gonna ask Nyx if she knows if her temple on Glyph had a teleportation circle.
She didn't
And
have
if
a
so-
temple, or the moon did. She could teleport you to. Yeah, she's like, my on Mingabwe, yes, but there's nothing but mind players on Mingabwe now. I could get you to Mingabwe, yes.
Well, at least that's closer than where we are
couldn't-
now.
Flute, we've been to the workshop before. Couldn't you get us there?
I mean, I could try.
Or
You are familiar
Maybe
with the
Laloon.
location.
Yes.
maybe
yeah.
Laloon could get us there. She knew Florial better than anyone.
boy, it seems like if we had Florial, this would all be somewhat easier.
I don't know. I mean, they don't seem like
Which,
an
by
easy
the way-
person.
This is true.
Loon says, the Undying Queen has, I can tell you from experience that the Undying Queen has her eye on Florial. But I will tell you that Florial is the only person I know who has been inside the Psychropolis. And Nyx and Talon are both like, react to that. And they're like, they both are like, Talon is stoked as hell. It's like, what? Let's go. And Nyx is like, this is kind of like, again, it seems very much like this is a strike against Moon Girl in Nyx's book.
And as soon as we meet
Well-
Florial, our bill comes due with slow death anyway, so...
Maybe we can put it off a little bit.
Not if we need Slitta's help.
I mean, we can assure her that we'll make the introduction, but... I mean, things being as they are...
She's expecting it, trust me.
Immediately? The moment we meet Florial, the
seems-
first order of business is his meeting with Slow Death that he doesn't know about?
It's, I'd expect that.
Well,
Well,
She's
but
been
does
pretty
she want
patient.
to? What does she want from him? Maybe she just wants to, swap recipes or something.
I don't know.
Either way,
She didn't tell
I'm
me.
not
but
sure that sitting around talking about plans is the most engaging content. You know what I mean?
Well, I need to nap to get my magic back.
I think we should
take
take a nap.
small talk so that I can get to the napping portion of the game.
This wasn't directed at you, Windrider. I
Let's
just
all
mean,
sit
you know,
and look at Flute until he
let's
gets
do
tired.
something.
I don't have to sleep. I just have to do 8 hours of chill shit. So maybe we could say that all of this conversation is melded into the chill shit. Basically, if there's an 8-hour gap before I can start the long rest, that's like 16 hours of time have to go by of me just being chill, which is what I plan on doing inside this cave.
I'll fast forward to this. I'll fast forward here, and we'll put you on the other side of the break. Probably at Jadorian, or probably wherever you want to go. But that's my main question: where you all want to go next? Like when you're teleporting,
I
where
think
are
we're
you
all
going?
trying to go back to Jadorian. That's our home base. It's where our most
let's go
forces
to
and
Jadorian.
resources are, and we want to see Goat. So yeah.
Cool. Then from there, kind of like with this sussing a little bit, and you all spending time here, you all can absolutely we can fast forward a little bit here, but. There's a scene I want to do, which I'm gonna cut to just me and Flute for a second. So K.A.I, Moonboy, and Klik, if you want to start break, you absolutely can. But
start pissing now, friends. Enjoy it.
Please don't turn your video off.
Man, I have been this whole time.
Fuck with it, my setup. But I do want to cut over to me and Flute for just a second because we'll fast forward here. We'll say that you all have spent a chill day here, kind of like.
I'm just sharpening my sword. Yeah. I'm just kind of hanging out.
After that last one, there's been no more Mind Flayer announcements. They've kind of like taken the hint after you all didn't show up. You all have just been kind of like observing the area, being safe here. And at one point, you all are talked out a little bit. You all know you're just kind of stalling and you're alone for a second here, Flute. In fact, let's say you're peeing in a corner of this cave, just for the fun of it.
Gross, but okay.
And
go outside.
Yeah. What? We're leaving in a few minutes anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, there's like an indent where they've like absolutely established.
There's a toilet crack. Didn't you hear Whipper tell us all about the toilet crack? It's because you don't use the toilet, K.A.I. Well, the rest of us need a toilet crack.
And all of a sudden, it feels like you're
in that area.
This is just funny to me too. Is like you're like peeing and you just notice another stream touch your stream, and it like you look up and it's
sword fight.
It's the writer like looking right back at you, and he's like,
"Yikes!
Long time no chat."
Oh, hey, they didn't even know you needed to pee.
I don't. This is an illusion.
Did his dick just bark like a dog?
No, it's my insane
God.
dog. No, shh. Be quiet.
Yeah, well, as I imagine you've seen, I've been a bit busy.
Yeah. Not doing what I gave you a way out. What the hell?
Yeah, well, I've got more pressing matters, but as you can see, Australian's still here. Our deal is still
right.
But
we could just go there now. Why are you not just going there now? Literally, what the hell? Like let's go. Let's go
because
to hell.
Australian could be incredibly useful to what we need to do.
I don't care about that, Flute. That's the whole
I care about
but
that.
that's I'm letting you go of the big thing. Like I'm letting you go of this because I don't want to care about this anymore.
I want that too, but I can't give away this. I mean, you're a little helpful in a fight, but it sounds like Australian is very helpful in a fight.
Look, I don't. You're talking to me about the mortal goings on here, and I'm talking to you about your eternal soul. Like, if you don't give this to me, like, then I'm gonna take it back and I get you forever.
I told you I would give it to you. You didn't say that there was any deadline,
well,
you'll get it when you get it.
Now. I'm saying it now. If you leave here without bringing this to me, the deal's off.
Well, then I guess you didn't really want Australian in the first place, then did you?
And I piss on his illusory boot.
It's like, no wonder you died. You're so goddamn stupid.
I might be stupid, but Australian's my friend and not yours, so
He's your
not that
friend
stupid, am
now?
I? Not
He's your
that
friend?
stupid. Not that stupid, am I?
It's pinholes.
Here, Australian, are we friends?
Hell yeah, we are. He says from the other
see?
room.
See, we're friends.
Hey, Windrider, who are you talking to over there?
The toilet crack.
Nice. So cool.
Look, don't set any timetable, and you'll still get what you want. You've got eternity. All I've got is a short life to figure this out. I don't know why you're in such a rush.
It's just he's valuable to me, and the longer this stupid mortal body of yours fucks around, if you die, I just get your soul, and your soul is dog shit to me compared to Australian.
You better hope I don't die. And you better hope I don't die before then.
It's right there. Just bring him to me. Why are you not bringing him to me?
Because I'm not going back down there.
Why?
I don't know if you noticed, but it's crawling with intellect devour.
No. That's the city. You could just get to the goddamn statue. It's outside of town. Come on. Just bring him to me.
No.
What do you want? You want me to make you super powerful? Like I'll up the deal. I'll make me like super powerful or some shit.
No,
like
I'm not changing any deal with you. The only deal I'm interested in with you now is our exchange of Australian. So why don't you go draw up that contract releasing me from our debt, and I'll be in touch when I can meet you with Australian. Because I'll need that contract for us both to have signed before you'll ever get him.
He goes, you know that I can make your life bad, right? Do you know that?
Look around. Look at the universe. Everything's gone to shit. So, yeah, I'm sure you could make my life bad. Do you think that would get you what you want that much faster?
No, but it would make your life worse, which would be fun for me with what you're doing to me right now. You know what I hate? You having power. And so, right now, you've got power over me, all right? I'm not power face. I know you're not a dumbass. And right now, you're dangling this over me, and I fucking hate it. He says, like, and just
Harlan,
like, yeah.
Can I interject here and ask? I would love for the Moonboy to get up and go, well, I think I'll go talk to the toilet crack myself, and start walking over and stumble upon this conversation.
Cool. As long as Flute is cool with it. As long as Andrew
Flute,
is cool with
are you cool with that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would have no idea that you were even. I'm kind of in this heated debate. Yeah.
I see you arguing with the rider. Do you want me to roll anything, Harlan?
No. I think that if this is just cool, it's just fun. As long as Andrew doesn't feel like it's impeding on the scene, go for it.
I'm not trying to lord over. You're the one adding deadlines to this. As you can see, I'm already incredibly stressed out with everything that's happening, and now all of a sudden there's a deadline.
I see them arguing.
I'll bring him to you. That's a promise.
And I see this moment where the rider starts threatening Flute and saying that he will make his life very bad. And I cast Planar Binding.
Well, I do. If you're gonna cast a spell, I do want you to roll a stealth check first.
I shall.
Yeah.
Would you call this a moonish environment?
No.
It's a cave, I mean. Okay.
It's not orbiting anything.
Okay.
What'd you get? 16.
Cool.
I got a 15, so that's fine. Cool. So planar binding. Let's talk about planar binding for a second.
With this spell, you attempt to bind a celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend to your service. The creature must be within range for the entire casting of the spell. Oh shit, the casting time is 1 hour. Never mind.
This whole time, Moonboy's been creeping up real slow.
I've been here for an hour.
It's an hour?
The casting time's an hour. Yeah.
Well, we are pro-level bullshitters. I think we could chat up somebody up for an hour.
I'll tell you what. I will give you. I will cut this spell time in half next time for you reading the room here, just because I love this scene, just because I like it a lot.
God, it's a fun idea, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'll just say, like, you are chipping away at this cast time to make it being a trap. Just because I love the narrative of, like, Moonboy trying to get the writer here, I'll let you half it. Just if you spend, like, if you're just eavesdropping on this conversation and kind of, like, doing this mental math, like,
and he's like drawing.
I'm gonna get this someday. Like,
little sigils on the ground and kind of twirling and putting his finger in his mouth and his other one in his ear and winking and doing magical things.
I love it. Let's say I'll call this cast time, like, if you keep finding moments like these, or however you feel like is right, but I'll let you build this cast time like a bank.
Cumulative.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say it gets a little harder the closer you get to it, but the first half an hour is just you eavesdropping on this conversation. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, fucking casting times.
I know.
that would have been rad.
Yeah.
It's truly a thing I believe in. So yeah.
You gotta start on it.
You're giving Flute the stretch, the stand-up comedy stretch symbol. Yeah.
Hand him a note. Checks still haven't dropped.
I'll just reiterate to the writer, like,
look, I'm not interested in lording power over you. I'm interested in getting out of our deal. So let me help my friends and take care of this business, and I will deliver Australian to you as promised.
That doesn't hit with me, because all you need to do to get out of your deal is walk this dude over there right now, and you could do that. So if what you actually you care about,
I need him
exactly. So what you care about more than that is you care about using him before you giving him to me.
More than one thing at a time.
Yep. He says, "Cool. Well, I'll tell you what. If you leave this planet, if you leave this cave, if you leave the Cove of the Bones without bringing him to me, I'm gonna make your life harder. I just want you to know that. So you make your own goddamn decision.
This promise you just made. You better think about that promise you just made.
Cool.
Moonboy, can you incapacitate? Can you incapacitate him?
I mean, I could try it. Oh, hey, K.A.I. So you're in on this too.
I see you're doing some kind of spell over here.
I know. I was coming to have a chat with the Whizcrack, and it looks like
I've been having a long talk with my pants down around my knees.
My pants fully just cheeks out.
Toddler,
6-year-old boy in this shit.
They're identical. They're identical in every way, and yet their genitals are so different.
I do like the idea that both of you have your pants fully down around your ankles, just like screaming at each other with butts out. Yeah. Before I want to cut to break here, but before we do, Flute, I'd love for you to roll just a general insight check on the writer.
Okay.
I can cast Hold Person.
Moonboy. I don't think he's a person.
He's certainly not, is he?
28.
He seems haggard. And like he's been up for a long time. And, time isn't really a thing for him too. So there's like something that is manifesting itself in the magic he's using to portray himself, where like this isn't just him being upset about not getting the toy he wants. This is like, he's been up all night.
Something else.
Yeah. Huh. He's been up all night here. So, and with the 28 too, I'll just let you, like, you've been a pinched dude often, and he's a pinched dude. Pinched. Yeah. Like pinched. Like it's not because you rolled a 28, it's not a hard assumption to make that he thought he had this in the bag and made a couple of promises because of it.
Oh.
And so the fact that it hasn't happened yet is causing him like you kind of could like put all this together by seeing him like worn out and all that. So cool.
And I'll try to change my tone to be a bit more reassuring, and I'll be like, "Look, we've had quite a ride together, haven't we? But we've worked it out. We've made it. We've made it work out this far, and now we're almost done with our arrangement. So don't worry. You're going to get what you want, and I'm going to get what I want, and everyone's going to be happy. All right. You do not fuck with me, and we won't have any problems.
Roll a persuasion check. Don't worry about it. I mean, actually, roll it just to really shove it in my face, but I rolled a natural 1. So
shove it.
He is having a bad day.
He's having a rough one, right?
I got a 24.
Yeah.
Damn.
So what you roll like
Does
a 6,
he have a physical form, or is he just an illusion?
He's just an illusion. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say I'd put my hand on his shoulder, but I'll just pantomime
you
it.
do, and it falls through. Yeah. Correct it.
Jeez.
He's like, I have been unreasonably lenient with you, and I will continue that because I see your mind, and I know that you are a coward and will cave, and you will bring me what I want eventually. So I'm not afraid of you. And as he say that, it's the shittiest ass thing he's ever, like, he's like so out of his composed, like, cool, I'm gonna get this deal eventually zone. And you know he's just being like a whiny little baby here. So but he's you can feel like a rescind a little bit, where he's like, cool, all right, yeah, sure, you're gonna bring it to me eventually, so I'm not gonna make your life miserable. He all right, reneges on it.
Pull up my pants and walk away.
Cool.
Nice.
He
I will also pull up my pants and kind of hide a little bit.
And with that, let's all go drink tea, and we'll see you in just 5 minutes here. We're gonna take a quick break. See you in a second.
All right.
Yeah, so I truly think that, like, in the same realm of like Cotton Candy Girl and what have you got a knife videos, for me the trifecta of that is the raccoon trying to wash the cotton candy. Like, I think that is like
goes away.
Sad,
it is
Poor little man.
it is like the saddest, not actually in reality,
Also,
like, sad video that I can imagine.
I
It's
put
the
that
other
in
end
the
of the
night shift
spectrum.
game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
amazing.
But say
That's
it
the
again,
far
Andrew?
end of the spectrum from the girl reacting to the cotton candy is the raccoon losing the cotton
Right.
candy.
It feels like the
and
lawful,
we're both-
like lawful evil version, or like whatever. Yeah. It feels like just the opposite.
we just
Andrew, what did you say that about putting the raccoon in the game?
I put it in that's one of the quests in Night Shift, is helping this raccoon make cotton candy after he lost it in the water.
That's great.
Amazing.
We talked about running a streets game where we're all like meme animals. So if we do that, let me be the quest
I
giver.
think that's what
like,
it inspired it. Harlan, you said you were the cotton candy raccoon. I was like, oh yeah, I should give the raccoon a happy ending. In the
We can run that right after we do Streeps, where we're all Meryl Streep's
Meryl
dogs.
Streep.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Streeps. Now we're all of Meryl Streep's most iconic characters.
Okay.
Dogs who
Don't
think they
scoff.
have that
It's gonna be awesome,
personality.
dude.
I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. You're right.
Don't yuck my yum, Aaron.
So bring us back here.
Ew, yum.
Bring us back here. I can have you all just teleport back to Jatorian here. As we are, it is the the evening of this day. You've all spent this downtime. You've taken your long rest, and you can kind of reset and go back to Jadorian all together. And Jadorian is a place too where I am not going to have you roll on the dice chart because you have sigils there, you have a teleportation circle there, and you also know it very, very well. So
cool.
Yeah, let's definitely go there. Before we go, do we have eyes on the rebellious penguin? What's her name again?
Keen.
Is she around?
Yep, she's around.
Just want to make sure that she comes with us.
Roll a perception check.
Perception. Dirty 20.
Right. I got a 19. Look at that. Second time in a row tonight.
Keen eyes you have.
Yeah. And you can see her. You can see her kind of like. It's really a no after you kind of like no you can go through because there's 3 groups. Nyx is taking a group, Flute's taking a group, Moon Girl's taking a group, and so you can see her like dodgy looks and her kind of like stalling here, kind of like standing on the edge of the outside. What are you doing to kind of? She's not like making hard moves for it. She's just kind of like. You get the vibe that she's maybe going to just like step outside of the range of it when it happens.
I'm going to kind of go over there and just be like, Keen, why don't you come with us? Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
Keen, were you eating off camera? Is
Yes,
that
I
what
was.
you're doing, Keen?
I was sorry.
Get out here,
Are you
Keen.
eating just off camera, Keen?
She's like,
That's fine.
oh, sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. She says, and she's like,
Why don't you come with us?
okay.
Keen here.
Don't stay here.
And she looks.
Please.
And she
Please don't stay here. You would be... I understand why you want to. Believe me, I do. But if you want to fight, the fight isn't here.
She looks at you and goes, y'all are going to save the Cove, right? Eventually.
Maybe. If you help us.
That's all I want. I think roll a persuasion check.
4.
Cool. I got a 7 this time. And she looks at you and she goes,
I almost flash of geniused it, but now that you've told me what you got, it would be cheating, so I won't do it.
all right, I appreciate you. She looks at it and she even goes, sure. Y'all are real heroes, she says really flatly. And with that, you all, boom, she goes with you, but she doesn't believe you. And there's just a...
I keep talking to her when we get there.
You're like in mid-sentence when you teleport. Furthermore.
And another thing.
Yeah.
You think we want this?
And you all are
You
back
little bitch.
in
You
the...
think we're doing this for clout? You child penguin.
I do like the idea of like I was trying to push your buttons, Klik. I do like the idea of like her just like bullying this kid a little bit. The way you all get teleported back.
Me, you little creep. Put the phone down. Put the phone down. Take your glasses. I'll snap them in half.
You all get teleported back into the temple that you all originally fought in when you were taking over Jadorian, but it's just the front room. It's kind of not too far from the Coward's Corner where you get whoomped back in.
Okay, it can be renamed. It doesn't have
The original
There's
Coward's
actually
Corner.
there's a plaque
Yeah,
now. There's a
Yeah.
commemorative statue of you.
hiding.
Peeking
It's-
around the corner.
It says Warlock's cast from the corner. Like,
It's like
nice.
it's clearly
like a
it's meant to
Cast
be
from the corner.
yeah, it's meant to be ironic,
Make
but you
that
know
bumper
that
sticker.
cowardice is real.
There's like a statue of someone brave, and you're like behind them peeking out.
It's like K.A.I, like taking fire from all sides. Peekaboo.
One finger, casting a spell.
I think that's fun. They actually have erected in this like meeting area. They've erected statues to everybody. K.A.I is just like front and center, like in the middle of the meeting room. Klik is like right up against the door at the forefront of things. Moonboy's like you are a lantern, like you're like the light in the sky, floating up and flying in the corner. And Flute is like literally in the coward's corner, like tucked around the edge, looking around the corner.
Where it's unclear if it's in storage or not. Like, is this even on display, or were they putting it away? My God!
Is there one of that kid who held the door?
Oh, Hodor?
Ram?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Ram. There should be.
Yeah, there's not.
I'll put in for one.
Sure. So. You all are back in Chidorian. As you step up and sit out in this place, you are quickly greeted by Aldous, the Ortling, who's like floating around here, kind of like patiently on the outside of this temple. And it's like, oh, good, you are back. He says, I have been worried that you all would not return, but here you are, he says, and with friends, he says, pointing to Nyx and Talon, and Nyx introduced you to him, so he really like warmly greets Nyx. They don't hug, but they kind of like put their heads close to each other and are clearly communicating telepathically. And Talon's like, all right, break it up.
About?
And Aldous is like, there are many things to do, many things to do. He says, what is the plan? Psychropolis?
How did you know about that? Oh, right.
Nyx raises her hand and says, yeah, I told him. He says, well...
Or that.
He says, well, the fleet is ready. I can guide you if you need it. I can tell you many things, but I do not want to delay you, as you all are keen to act, I can tell.
It's true.
It's time. We've taken too long already.
Yes. Who should? Will you be taking Moongirl? Will you be taking Loon? Will you be taking all of Ridiculous? Nyx, Talon. Who are you taking with you? What can we do? Where could we send the fleet?
I don't know. We need to talk about it a little bit. Probably for just a couple more episodes, we need to talk about it, and then we'll be good.
Aldous, is this statue in storage, or is it on display?
He says it is paying tribute to what you do best.
All right.
Knowing when to strategically enter the fight, he says.
Strategy. Showing great strategy in this.
Yeah, they call it the strategist's closet.
That's
what they call it.
It's where we hide all the strategists.
Dripping with strategy.
We have a little bit to take care of here. Everyone?
I will imagine you want to see the birth of Goat.
We'd like to.
Yes.
Is that happening?
Where's the dinger?
Dinger is tucked away in our docks.
In the hangar?
Yes. Reliathan left. It was a hard event, but I did not want to meddle with him, and so we did not prevent him.
Yeah.
Guess let's go take a look.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Let us go to the dinger. And he starts to lead you there. On the way, he fills you in quickly, as he is just like kind of telepathically communicating with all of you all. That he says, we know that he's like filling you in kind of like with what he knows about being a higher up in the fourth ring here. He says, we know that the Meridian Tract was in conversation with the Undying Queen. He says, we've also known that the Grounded Pack, which allied the powerful leaders of each planet, we knew that pack was shaky. And in order for the Finn Alliance, the Meridian Tract's, ability to provide safety and stability to each planet for any big interdimensional threat, we knew that they must have been backed from unknown sources in order for them to juggle so many threats. But we now believe the Meridian Tract knew the eventuality of the plan of the Undying Queen, and that their plan all along was to allow the world to continue, but spin away their allies' worlds and allowing the Undying Queen to call the Dark Star to this world. He's kind of like briefing you as you all walk, because he's been spending time here talking to other people, gathering information, putting pieces together. And he says, as a final act of solidarity between the Meridian Tract, their allies, and the Undying Queen, I believe that they were planning to help guide the Dark Star and her and allow her into this world and save themselves and maybe their allies in the process, but we don't know much more than that. This is all conjecture, he says, as you all float toward the hangars.
So they are bad. That's a relief.
Deeply, yes. I believe.
Good. Then I do too.
Great.
Easier to believe, honestly.
Yeah.
I know, I have sensed it in you long ago that you all care about not just yourselves and not just this world, but a better way of living. This is a better way of being allowed to be alive. And as you float forward, you all come to the hangar, and I will say it is an astounding scene from when you last left this hangar with Piss Cricket kind of like leading the charge here. And, you know, it's been left to Chatholic, whose name I wrote and still cannot pronounce effectively, consistently. And it is full of what looks like different Kreen weapons. The Githka, the Chushka, primarily, and there's about 15, 18, like in the 15 plus ships filling this area, and like just different Kreen moving in and all about. In fact, you see a few folks that you recognize, like who are moving up toward ships. What looks like it kind of looks like they are piloting them. You see Felix, this widower that you all became friends with, is like moving up to attune to a helm. You see Gluck kind of like floating above one, and he sees you all and waves at you. And Malzor is up on the deck of the Dinger, which you see kind of like sat in the middle of all of this. And he is floating there above the nose of the ship, and he waves at you, and he's like, "Oh, and is waving and saying hello to you in this like ancient dwarven language, and gestures for you all to come aboard. And this place is like bustling and moving. Yeah.
Is Oliphanticulus around?
He's not in vision right now. But it's clear, it's very clear to you that he has had a hand in all of this. You can just tell. Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool. So you all can head toward the Dinger there, and you see Relic kind of like greets you all as, "Oh, welcome back." He says, "We've been keeping it in good shape. I heard that you all turned us around, which is good because I'm happy to not have to be shooting things." He says, "I did hit a crat." He says,
"We heard."
Relic
we heard about the crat.
Relic, Cobble pops out of a bucket and is like, "He wasn't aiming for the crat though, technically." And he like cuts her off.
Still counts.
There it is. I knew there was something off.
And
glad to hear you're still taking shots, though, Relic. That's good. Shows you have heart, kid.
You know what they say? You miss 100% of the shots you do take.
Also, I called him Malzor, but it was Arugula floating there. You all got it from the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
That was Arugula floating, not Malzor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, and so the final person for you to meet here, I realize that because the final person for you to meet as you're like brought back on deck here is Malzor, this like stinky little halfling who's
Malzor,
Hey.
my man.
What's
We
up?
do a secret handshake
Yeah, just
that involves us picking each other's noses briefly.
yeah, totally.
Oh,
He
did you guys
blows
switch clothes?
He
Yeah,
blows
just for a
smoke.
second, though.
into your ear, and it comes out the other one. Yeah.
My dude.
And
Whoa.
he goes, man, Malzor and Arigula and I have been hard at work, dude. Let me tell you.
How's the pod?
It's good. The whole garden's looking great.
No, I mean your podcast that you do with Arigula.
I've just been talking in the closet.
Podding around the bush.
I know you keep encouraging me to find some magic that allows me to broadcast it out, but I can't, and so I'm just still talking in the closet, asking myself questions internally.
It's an ancient gnomish. It's
Yeah.
like 4 people that speak it.
Well, I think we're ready to see the old girl.
Sure, my notes about other dimensions and the honey moss dwarves and is that what you're talking about? Oh no,
No, the pod with goat inside.
sorry.
It's about to hatch. I can feel it. You call it hatch? Pop? Sprout?
Blossom.
Blossom. I like that. And hate it.
Arigula taught me that. He says, "Pretty cool." He asked me. He says, "Yep, we've been growing. We've been growing together." He says,
You Randy, old fool.
"My name's not Randy, but I understand why you would forget. It's been a while." And he looks and he goes, "But yeah, I think that we've been letting it marinate, but I think that we've been looking for a sign for when it's time to split it open. And I think it's time. You want to go in?"
Let's go in.
All right.
What if she doesn't like us?
Then she'll leave.
I guess she always wanted to leave anyway.
Or maybe she'll try to kill us, and we'll have to kill her.
The first thing that you would want to
Just
hear,
kidding.
if you got killed and then got reincarnated, what would be the first thing you would want to hear?
Sorry.
Probably an apology. Probably just
No, I
That
don't
sounds
know.
intense.
We missed
come
you.
back.
I've got this whistle.
So good. It's good to
That
see
she
you.
made.
Will she
Staring at my boots.
She remember?
Klik. That's great. Why don't you, when she comes out, give her the whistle and say, "Welcome back. We missed you." Or something like that.
Is she going to remember us?
You hear
Sure.
an unfamiliar voice, but actually a voice that you might recognize, Kai, because you were able to speak his language here. You hear a regular go, but he says it in common. He says, "What is imprinted on the body will survive, with or without the body."
So she'll have all her tattoos.
What is imprinted on the body will survive, with or without the body. And Malzor's like, I taught him that phrase because we worked on
Remember-
translating
It's
it
Creepy
together.
phrase, Malzor.
She didn't
That's
have any
beautiful.
tattoos.
That's poetry.
What a phrase. That's the only phrase in common he knows.
That's nice. Kind of. Could be worse.
A
I
regular.
know people whose only phrase in common is much worse than that. No slurs in hers at all. It's good. Sorry.
Yeah, you should
Yes.
try to work a slur in there. Probably.
A regular looks around and goes, "Tea and hover crumpets," and gives you a thumbs up.
Very nice.
Fun, kind of our own little
Would you like
Encino
some?
man.
I'll bust out some tea and of her crumpets.
He points at you,
It's the
Moonboy, and
juice.
goes, "Pickles."
Yes.
Very good.
He looks at you, Klik, and says, "Fear and power." And then looks at you, Flute, and goes, "Barrels." And then gives you all a thumbs up. Yeah.
Very good.
Barrel? No, flute. Flute.
Barrels.
You guys can definitely call me Pickles.
That is a
you
good
said
name.
barrel? You said barrel?
Yeah, not feral.
Oh, I thought you said
Barrels,
feral. Feral. Sorry.
Like Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Pharrell, because you're a musician.
and he looks at you all and goes, Goat. There is a new life for Goat.
Well, let's go
Good
see.
sentence.
And he pulls out this large ceremonial dagger that has
Put it down! Get on the ground!
No, this is part of it. It's fine.
Oh, sorry.
It has like edges all the way up that kind of like curl and look like teeth on the inside of it as it curves up. And he goes, cut into a new life.
All right.
Turn the mucus into truth.
Ugh. What?
All right, well, let's go take a look before it gets any more disgusting.
Fleshy
Is,
reworkings. Find the truth.
Should we get the rest of the crew?
Malazor's like, I kind of lost it.
Auto-generating.
Yeah, I kind of lost it. I kind
The
of lost
thread
the thread.
really got.
Yeah, if the crew's around. Let's see if we can gather them.
Sure. Yeah. Cobble and
see
Relic
something?
are like peeking around the corner and are there immediately, and even Goliathan kind of works his way up and nods or like tips his cowboy hat at you and is like, welcome. Welcome back.
I'm gonna give Goliathan a side squeeze and put my arm around him and be like,
Are you doing all right, Captain?
You know, following the wind, he says.
Well, we're glad you came back.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what I was doing out there. Just feeling weird. I just love doing Omnidrous, you know, I don't want to fall in the wrong hands. But I know it's not the wrong hands. And he says, kind of like tearing up a little bit. And cool. And then he will, Goliathan's like, well, I'm the captain of this ship. And if someone's going to be born here, I should oversee it. And he reaches out to Arugula, and Arugula hands over the ceremonial blade. And he's like, let's go back. Yeah, I might need a stool.
I will
What if
pick
she-
up the captain and give him a little boost.
Oh, okay, I only am I respect you, and we are our forces combined. He says.
Can we retcon the knife into my little silver trowel
Totally, yeah,
that I left with them?
sure, yeah. I think that maybe. Well, let's not retcon it. Let's have you present it as like this is the correct piece.
I'll be like, no, wait, not the knife. When they're gonna hand it over to the captain, and I'm like, Captain, use this, and I'll take out this little silver ornate trowel that I have and press it into the captain's palm.
Wonderful. And he nods and hands the blade back to Arugula and takes that. And you walk in and you see this before, it's just like this large Goliath-shaped cocoon, growing both out of the dirt and into the wall. And now it is taken over a solid portion of this guarding cabin and is throbbing, just this like giant pulse within it. And you can see just the outline of bones. There's like a skeleton inside of there that's like clearly, but it's very shadowed, and it's hard to tell if the light is making it look bigger or if it's like a body that is, you can't even quite tell what size it is. It's because it's just this like shadow of it from this pulsing cocoon that's built into the wall with like vines and what looks like some sort of organic plaster. And Goliathan walks up to it and splits it down the middle. And Jordan, I want you to roll what is, I believe, is a D10.
It's a D100.
D100, potato. And I want to be very clear. I do not want you to tell anyone what the answer is. I want you to roll it and then do the art for it next week. That's cool.
Okay.
And then we'll end the session here. You're going to roll it. You can react, but you can't tell anyone what number you get. And then we'll have Goat walk out next time.
I rolled it and I am reacting. And holy shit.
Okay,
oh
cool.
my
Y'all
god.
are going to believe this. Incredible.
I would like you to tell me before next time.
I'm going to tell everybody as soon as this is over. Unless you want me to just tell you.
No, I only want you. I don't want anyone but you and me to know until next time.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to know.
I'm going to message you right now.
All right. I can't wait. I will say this is the end of the session. You all next time. I know you all will be heading out for the Psychropolis, so just be very. If you want to utilize, you do have the Armada that is, the air death here. That if you want to utilize as a distraction, as an attack against Glyph, if you want to send it to help Powerface, you can. It's kind of like a puzzle piece that you can move around for right now. And then I want you all to think about how you all are going to approach. So we'll put your plan into action next time, and you all can move some of these ancillary puzzle pieces. But let's just try and come into next session with all right, cool. We're heading to the Psychropolis in this way, and this is what we're doing with these other things. If you all want to,
I want to talk to Oli real quick before we leave.
Sure, absolutely. I will also
just
say
for a couple episodes
when you leave here too. After that last long rest, you all can level up.
So what level are we now?
14.
Wow.
Oh boy.
14. Nice.
Sick.
14.
That's exciting.
Getting
Holy
big.
smoke. I think I actually get something now.
I wonder if I get something. I think I do.
Not to brag.
Yeah, I will tell you, defeating that the Astral Dreadnought really helped your experience. So good shit.
That tracks.
Yep. Cool. All right. I can't wait. I can't wait for. Oh wait, do I get it from Jordan?
Shit.
I'm a do. Oh my god! Oh my god! Incredible. Okay.
Can you even believe it?
Nope. Of course. Dice tell a story, baby. Yes, absolutely. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you for hanging out with us. Reminder: we do have, if you are a Patreon member of the $10 tier or above, we do have a podcast where we talk about the show after the show. We kind of dissect it, talk about our thoughts on it, do a little bit of reaction like this. And so if you want to check that out, please become a Patreon subscriber and talk to us about it.
And if you don't want to give us our money.
It's very active. Money. What an active tense.
Incredible. Yeah, it's okay.
Wowza.
Cool. All right, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks, y'all.
Do-do-do-do.
Wowza.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humbly Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than heroes. They'll never be zeros. Better than heroes.